Hello, I'd like to show you how to make plaques. Now, what is a plaque? A plaque is sugar paste that's left to dry, so it's hard, similar to this. You can decorate, you can handle it, decorate it, and then once you've decorated, that can be placed on top of a cake. So every part of this plaque is edible. So there's no board there supporting it. So it is left to dry, left to dry and used at a later date. So this is a plaque that's quite dry, but still fragile, still breakable. So don't be too confident with it. You can see the thickness as well of this plaque. It's not too thick. You want it to be nice and fine, so it doesn't make your cake look heavy. What do I need to make a plaque? I need the cutters, ice and sugar. You may need a smoother if you've got any lumps and bumps in the paste. Spoon, sugar paste, a board to dry it on, gum tragacanth, rolling pin is what you'll need. Now, I'm going to use in this paste some gum tragacanth. So it's called gum tragacanth. Now, this ingredient, this gum tragacanth, is powder, okay, and it can be added to sugar paste to make that sugar paste dry hard. So it used to be, and probably still is, used in pills, so to put into tablets and make them set. And it works really well with sugar paste. You can buy this from specialist cake shops. You might still be able to get it from chemists, but specialty cake shops or on the internet is where you get it. Now these plaques I can use with a mixture of gum tragacanth into the sugar paste so it'll dry hard, or I can actually make them out of pastelage. Okay. So I've got my sugar paste, and into my sugar paste I'm going to add some gum tragacanth, and into that amount I could weigh it, would be good. I don't usually weigh, so I just estimate it. So that is weighing 280 grams. I'm going to put about half a teaspoon. That's quite generous. I could put a little bit less. Gum tragacanth is very expensive, and you can buy gum tragacanth substitute, and that's what it's called, gum tragacanth substitute, or CMS. But the only problem is that the price of the gum tragacanth substitute is almost the same as the gum tragacanth. A pot like this, you're looking at about £50. Now I'm going to knead that powder through the paste so that it's dispersed. If you forget to add the gum tragacanth and you just use sugar paste, then that plaque won't be dry. It will not dry unless it's been left in there for about 12 months. And that's why you need to add the gum tragacanth. So just mix it through. It doesn't change the colour. It does change the consistency a little bit. It goes a little bit firmer. So ice and sugar on the table, and roll it out. You know that you roll with two hands flat, with your body standing quite straight, and you move the paste around. What you never do this with one-handed, because it would become uneven, and there's a good chance it will stick to the table. So by rolling the paste nice and gently, the sugar paste won't stick to the table, and I'm also moving it. I move it so it doesn't stick, but also so I can make it nice and even. Now I'm rolling it nice and thin. It's not like covering a board of sugar paste where it's a little bit thicker. We want these plaques to be nice and thin. I'll just spend that extra time and roll this out thin. If I cut the edge of this, you'll be able to see how thin it is. Whoops, no card. I'll just move it out again. Okay, so it's quite thin. Could even go a little bit thinner than that. Okay, so I've now got a board. I'm just going to use this board for the purpose of drawing the plaques on. So I'm going to put some ice and sugar onto it so the plaques don't stick to the board. Never be tempted to put greaseproof paper or silicone paper on there, because the plaques will dry all curved. As the paper gets wet, it will become crinkly. So ice and sugar is the only way for doing this. So you can see I've covered it well. I'm then just tipping it off and taking it off. So you won't be able to see, but I've got a very thin layer of ice and sugar on there. What I don't do is cut out the plaques here and transfer them. What I do is transfer the paste onto the board. Make sure that's nice and flat, no air bubbles. And what I'm going to do then is use the cutter and cut it out. Right. Whenever you want one plaque, you always do spares, just in case, because it's sugar. Yep, they do break. Or you might want round, whatever shape you want your plaques to be, you can cut them out. And these can store, they can store for over a year. Now, by cutting them out on the board and just taking away the paste, I'm not going to disturb those plaques. If I'd cut them out on the table and then transferred them to the board, I could have misshapen those plaques. So by picking them up, I could stretch the paste so that they become a different shape or a different size. Now that's perfect. Any sugar paste you've got left over, pop it in the bag. You can, if you want to, just check that it's movable, but I'm quite confident that they'll be fine, and they can dry. 7 days is the best thing to do. 7 to 14 days would be the time to leave these to dry. Obviously it depends on the room conditions. So if it's a kitchen or we've got a dishwasher going, they would take longer to dry. If they was placed in somewhere warm, then they would take less time to dry. And it depends on the thickness of your paste. If your paste is thicker than this, they take longer to dry. Okay, so I'm going to now leave these plaques for at least a week to dry out. Okay, yep. Hello, what I'd like to do now is show you how to remove the plaques from the board. So as you can see, the plaque's quite firm on the board. One's just loosened, that's fine. But if I find that one is a little bit firm and it won't move, don't be tempted to use your palette knife. If you use your palette knife and push it underneath, the plaque will sure to break. So move your board to the edge of the table and just flex it a little bit. And you can do that all the way around. So I'm not breaking the board, I'm just moving it. And that should loosen your plaques. And then just, there you go. Okay, no problem. So that's quite dry actually, because it's nice and fine, and it's got the gum tragacanthine, and it's been left to dry just over a week. It's dry. If you do take them off and you think, oh, underneath it's still a little bit soft, just turn it back again, upside down, and leave it to dry for another 24 hours. Okay.